Amr, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. What
Mhm.
about you?
I am okay, thank you for asking. Okay. Do you work, Amr? Huh?
I don't hear you.
I ask you if you work. Do you work?
Today,
As usual, in general. What is your work? What is your profession?
I have a store to buy a clothes there
Ah,
for me.
your voice is lagging a little bit. You have a store in Dubai?
No, no, Lebanon
Uh-huh. Ah, so aren't you at work today?
to buy
Uh,
to buy a yeah.
uh, your voice is lagging a little bit. I hope that your internet is stable. By the way, thank you so much. I just want to make sure about your work. Um, if you remember, Amr, I sent you some recordings, and I told you that you have to listen to these recordings carefully, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think today I want to check your understanding about these words or sentences, sorry, about the recordings. So let's check that by listening to these recordings again. And let me check if you have listened to the recordings correctly. So let me start over. Let me start from the beginning of the form because we are practicing. So let me go down to the repeat the sentence. As I told you, Amr, you have to repeat only a sentence. Maybe the sentence is going to be simple. A sentence, maybe it is complex sentence, maybe compound, or maybe the sentence is compound complex sentence. So you have to be careful and you have to listen carefully. Um, Sometimes, Amr, I don't really understand the word that the speaker is saying. It doesn't matter if you don't understand the meaning of the word. What it matters is to say the word correctly. That says it. So you have to listen carefully to every single word. If you if you are not sure about the word, about the pronunciation of the word, try to say what you hear, because maybe your word or the word that you want to say is going to match the word about the speaker. So let's do it. And I think now I'm going to play the recordings again. And I want to check the way that you have listened to these words. So let me start with sentence number one. And please try to repeat what you can hear.
Test 1. Repeat sentence. Page 15. 1.
Factors such as cost and function influence the design of a bridge.
So what did he say? I don't know if you are speaking, Amr. If you are speaking, I cannot hear you. I think you have a problem with your mic or maybe with your internet. Please try to check that and tell me just to complete. Amr, you're speaking, but I cannot.
You hear
Now
me now?
yes, I can. I think you have a problem with your mic, aren't you? Okay. Do you want me to repeat the sentence,
You
Amr?
hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, can you? I can't hear.
So okay,
I can't. Can you repeat?
yes, I can, absolutely. So let's repeat the sentence and please listen carefully.
Test 1. Repeat sentence. Page 15. 1.
Factors such as cost and function influence the design of a bridge.
What did he say?
Factor
Mm-hmm.
cost, the design of bridge.
Okay, let me write what you heard, and after that, absolutely, I'm going to tell you the correct sentence the speaker said. Okay. So let me write what you heard. You said factor, okay,
Factor cost,
cost,
the
okay,
design of a bridge.
the design
Of a bridge.
over a bridge.
Of
Of a bridge, the design of a bridge. Okay, so this is a bridge. Let me try to make zoom in, and I have to repeat the sentence. Try to match the words the speaker is going to say with the words that you said. Okay, so again,
Sentence. Page 15. 1.
Factors such as cost and function influence the design of a bridge.
do you think that this is what he said?
factor that I
Okay, that I,
can satisfy our design.
okay. Let me tell you exactly what the speaker said, Amr, and let's check if we have to listen carefully or maybe you have to do something. First of all, he said factors. This is number one, because this is a plural, and absolutely the plural S should be fully pronounced. This is number one. He said factors such as means like. Okay, factors such as what? Such as cost. Okay, what else? Now he is giving examples. Factors which means العوامل مثل شو؟ العوامل مثل cost التكلفة and function والوظيفة. Okay, influence يؤثر. Okay, يؤثر على ماذا؟ Influence the design of the bridge. The design of a bridge, not the bridge. The design of a bridge. Okay. Don't forget, Amr, that absolutely the speaker is going to mention a verb. This is the verb, which is influence. So factors is the subject. This is an example, such as cost and function, التكلفة والوظيفة. Now, this is the design of the bridge is the object. So as I told you before, Amr, it is impossible for the speaker not to mention the subject, verb, or maybe object. If I don't have an object, absolutely the speaker is going to mention the rest of the sentence. So this is exactly what I have to listen. فعامر أي sentence بلا هيدا ولا أي part ما بتزبط تكون sentence. فأنت لما بدك تعمل repetition لازم تحط ببالك السبجكت والفيرب والاوبجكت. مستحيل، ما اصلا السنتنس انت بنسميها سنتنس عامر لما تحوي سبجكت وفيرب ورست اوف ذا سنتنس. اذا كان one part missing هاي تسمى phrase، ومستحيل سبيكر يقول لك phrase لانه هو المفروض يقول لك sentence، والسنتنس should be complete. I mean as I told you, subject, verb, or maybe object. Not only, maybe Amr, the speaker, is going to say complete sentence. maybe compound sentence, maybe compound complex. Maybe you don't fully understand me what I mean by compound or maybe complex or simple. Let me show you exactly what I mean. This is called عامر coherence and
والفكرة
Mm.
والف...
Yes, عامر.
الفكرة مش جملة تحول عم حاول إني اسمع السبجكت والأوبجكت.
Exactly. This is what you have to do.
أحسن ما أنساها كلها، عم حاول بالسبجكت
And the verb. You don't have to forget the verb because the verb is really
والأوبجكت، عم
important.
نكون واضحين أكثر من الفعل.
برافو برافو. أكيد أكيد. Okay. Now, let me repeat the recording and let me show you how the speaker exactly said this sentence. So, wait. This is the recording. So let me repeat.
Page 15. 1.
Factors such as cost and function influence the design of a bridge.
Okay, so notice how I said factors and bridge clearly, as you said exactly, because the verb is not that important. So you have to focus on the three parts and you have to say the three parts exactly. I want to tell you something. Maybe if you want to say factors, for example, influence the design of the bridge without the examples, you will not lose the full mark. Absolutely, you should have marks, but not the full mark. So don't think that if you don't say the sentence correctly, you will lose all the mark. It is not like this. Okay. So this is about the sentence. Now let's play the second sentence and let me check the way you could listen to it. This is the second one. This is it. So please listen carefully.
2.
It's important that humans dispose of their waste in appropriate ways.
What?
It's important that a human
Oh, bravo. It's
that why
Okay. It's important, bravo, that
human
a human
humans
a human or humans.
human
Okay.
that way.
That way. Okay. That way. Now, because we are practicing Amr, let's try to repeat the sentence. And now you have to add the missing words. So let's repeat and match the speaker with the words that you said. So, 2.
2.
It's important that humans dispose of their waste in appropriate ways.
So,
that way dispose.
okay. That way, disperse. نفترض عامر انه disperse مثل ما نحن سمعنا. Okay, disperse what?
way of شيء كمان.
Okay. Of way. Okay. Let me write the complete sentence, Amr, and let me show you sometimes how I have to match the meaning, because the meaning of the sentence is really important just to know the idea the speaker is speaking about. So the speaker said it is important that a human dispose. Dispose, or let me write the complete sentence. A humans, not a human. And I'm going to tell you why. Dispose of their waste in appropriate ways. Okay, this is exactly, Amr, what the speaker said. Now, let me show you sometimes how I have to try to say the approximate meaning. I mean, the approximate is the word that you have to say. This is waste. Waste يعني الفضلات. وdispose يتخلص. فمنلاحظ أحيانا نشوف التقارب بين الفيرب والأوبجكت. فأنا لما أشوف waste أما لما أسمع waste الفضلات فأنا لازم أعرف إنه dispose هي يتخلص. So this is the way that you have to match the verb with the object. This is number one. Number two, Amr, let's imagine that the speaker, as you said human. If it is a human, you don't have to forget the simple present tense. The simple present tense, Amr, uh, um, if you have singular, you have to add s at the end of the verb. So لأنه ما قال disposes فمعناها لازم نعرف إنه السبجكت هو plural. لو قال disposes أكيد لازم نعرف إنه السبيكر قال السبجكت اللي هو singular, it is not a plural. So you have to be careful. You have to match the subject with the verb, and even you have to match the meaning. So if you want to say dispose, you can guess the meaning, which is waste. This is a معامر called guessing the meaning. Why guessing the meaning? Because لأنه أكيد السبيكر بده يقول sentence إلى معنى. مش حيقول sentence بلا معنى بالمرة. مش معناها إنه بدي يقول حي الله subject وكمان يطبقها مع حي الله فيرب ويلا كيف ما كان اعطي اوبجكت. لا، السبيكر حيعطي اول شيء complete sentence to a sentence that has meaning. اكيد السنتنس لازم تحوي معنى، مش حيعطي السبيكر meaningless sentence. So let's listen again and let's check if the speaker said exactly the sentence or maybe no.
2.
It's important that humans dispose of their waste in appropriate ways.
So their waste. يمكن تسألني عامر why their waste? Their goes back to humans. This is pronoun antecedent agreement. So you have to say their. Why? Because humans is a plural. I cannot say his. I cannot say they. Absolutely. Maybe I hear the word they. I cannot say they because this is possessive pronoun. This possessive pronouns or pronoun goes back to the plural, which is humans. So this is called, again, Amr, guessing the meaning. You have to guess the meaning. You have to match the subject with the verb. Not only the verb, you have to match the object, you have to match the possessive pronoun, reflexive pronoun, object pronoun. All these things you have to match absolutely just to be able to say the sentence correctly. Don't forget that the more you practice, the better you will be. By the way, we are practicing, don't worry. I know that you are not familiar with these recordings. So let's listen to the third one, and you have to listen carefully. So, number 3.
3. If you are unable to complete the task in time, please notify me by email.
What?
If you are unable to ask in time, please notify me by email.
Please notify me by email. Am I right? Okay. Please notified.
Notified me by email.
Please notified me by email.
Me, not my.
Notified me by email. Okay. Let's imagine, Amr, that this is the sentence the speaker said. Keep in mind that please يعتبر interjection. يعني كيف يعني interjection؟ دائما إذا بلش أحيانا word بinterjection مثل please، مثل wow، مثل hey، مثل yes، مثل no. All these words are called interjection. After interjection, you have to use imperative. imperative هو فعل الأمر، وفعل الأمر دائما ببلش بالفيرب زيرو. كيف يعني بالفيرب زيرو؟ يعني لازم يكون الفعل من دون من دون أي إضافات. يعني مثلا أنا قادر أقول لك عامر please go now. Notice I said go. ما قلت please went now, please going now, please goes. فما ضفت ولا أي ending للverb. So please be careful because after interjection like please you have to use verb zero, not simple past. You don't have to add s, you don't have to add ing, nothing at all. So I have to say please what? What is the verb 0 of notified?
One minute I have.
Take your time.
ما عم بسمع مظبوط بس one minute.
If you can hear me now clearly, please say yes. Amr, holy God.
Okay.
Amr, are you okay now?
Do you hear me?
Yes, I can. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as we said, sometimes after interjection, I have to use verb 0. What is the verb 0 of notify? Notified, sorry. If you know it, you can tell me the verb. If you don't, that's okay. Tell me I don't. Can you hear me, Amr? I think you have a problem with your mic.
Yeah, I hear. I hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So the verb 0 of notified is notify. Okay, Amr?
Okay.
Okay. Let me tell you, Amr, another way just to know the exact words the speaker said. To be honest, Amr, the speaker exactly said, let me listen again to the sentence just to remember. Okay. Now 3.
3. If you are unable to complete the task in time, please notify me by email.
Okay. Okay. The speaker exactly said, Amr, if you are, let me not write in bold, if you are unable, the opposite of unable is able. If you are unable to complete, the task, okay, comma, please notify me by email. Okay, maybe you want to ask yourself, Amr, why I wrote comma here? What is the secret of writing the comma? And how did I know that the speaker said this sentence exactly? To be honest, Amr, because I know the rules of conditionals. Now, because I know the rule of conditional, I can expect the sentence. Let me show you how. Because we have if, which is conditional, I can know that the speaker is going to use simple present. Simple present. This is another way to know the sentence the speaker is speaking about. أكيد أنا لازم أعرف شو هي قاعدة الكونديشنال. ما أنا كيف عرفت السنتنس بالضبط عامر من أول مرة؟ لأنه بس قال إف، مجرد ما قال إف أو وين فورا أنا لازم أتذكر قواعد الكونديشنالز. لأنه أحيانا عامر السبيكر بيقول abbreviations تعني مختصر أو الاختصارات، فأنت لازم تعرف شو الاختصارات وأكيد ما نخربط. By the way, عامر, now my job, my rule is to show you the rules of conditionals. Conditionals, Amr, is one of the most important lesson in English language. It is, I think, it is impossible for any speaking practice, any writing practice, any text without using conditionals. To be honest, Amr,
يعني بعد الإف بعد الإف
برافو.
والوان بيجي present simple.
برافو. simple present, simple present. هاي أول رول للكونديشنال.
بعد
فأنا
الإف والوان.
بعد الاف المفروض يكون طبعا عامر لخبرك شيء. لما يكون عندي اف او وين، هاي واحد، بس يقول اف او وين انت فورا لازم تتوقع انه السبيكر بده يقول تو فريزز فورا. مستحيل يكون في اف ولا وين بدون تو فريزز، والا المعنى ما بيكون كامل. فهي اول شيء لازم اتوقعه لاقدر اعرف السبيكر شو عم بيحكي. واحد. اثنين، اصلا انا كتبت لك الكوما لحتى تعرف انه اول شيء بدي اقول فريز نمبر 1، واثنين بدي اقول فريز نمبر 2. اول رول للكونديشنال بتقول لما يستخدم السبيكر اف او وين لازم يكون عندي simple present باول فريز، باول كلاز which is if clause. اوكي. بعد الكوما بسموها المين كلاز، لازم يرجع يستخدم السمبل بريزنت. ما انا كيف عرفت عامر انه نوتيفاي؟ شو عرفني؟ أنا ما أكيد لازم أكون عارف الرول. يعني أنت قلت نوتيفايد، وبصراحة نوتيفايد خطأ، لأنه بالوحدة من الرولز من الكونديشنالز لا يمكن استخدام السمبل بريزنت بالإف كلاوز ونرجع نستخدم السمبل باست، مستحيل. ولأنه بتعرف أنت لأنه هالرول خطأ لازم تتوقع أنه يقول السمبل بريزنت. أكيد. أوكي؟ اوكي. قواعد الكونديشنالز عامر هن فور، يعني من اهم الرولز. وعلى فكره مش بس لازم تعرفون السبيكينج، لازم تعرفون الرايتنج. You have to write an essay and using conditional is extremely important. By the way, عامر, for not to be confused, you have to know the rules of conditionals. Let me show you the 4 rules. Please, you have to keep them in your mind all the time. Again, you need them in speaking and even you need them in writing. Okay, I think this is conditionals exactly. Let me open the lesson and let me show you the 4 rules and let me show you how I knew the exact words the speaker said. So please, these 4 rules are extremely important. Number 1, if you notice, Amr, that if we have if, or maybe when, as I told you, not only if or when, okay. Now in the if clause you have to use simple present, comma, السبيكر حيعمل لك pause. pause هي إيقاف مؤقت لتقريبا ثانية. خليني أرجع أعد لك السنتنس وكيف، ولازم تلاحظ كيف السبيكر بيوقف لثانية. ليش؟ لحتى يبلش السكند كلاز. Let me repeat again.
3. If you are unable to complete the task in time, please notify me by email.
So notice how he paused less than 1 second just to show you that he is in the second clause, which is the main clause. So again, rule number 1, if you want to use if or when, you have to use simple present, simple present. Let me show you, Amr, the easiest example just to memorize the rules. The rules are extremely important. The easiest example is saying, let me split my screen into 2 just to show you the examples, and I want to match the examples with the rules. I think this way is going to be easier to explain. So let me write the example number 1 and let me write rule number 1. So number 1 is saying, for example, the easiest example, Amr, if you study, if you study, okay, comma, absolutely pause. You pass the exam. You pass the exam. إذا درست سوف تنجح. أكيد شرطية. So this is cause and effect. Okay, now let me show you the rules. Let me match the rules. Notice that this is if, in the if clause, this is if. This is number 1. This is simple present tense. This is study, simple present tense, comma, this is the comma. Now the next clause, which is the main clause, simple present pass, is the simple present tense. So this is rule number one about the conditionals. Now, rule number two is saying, if the speaker is going to use if or when, in the if clause, he's going to use simple present, okay. In the main clause, he's going to use will verb zero. طبعا فيرب زيرو هو الفعل المصدر، وانت لازم تتوقع عامر انه السبيكر لما يستخدم المودال فيربس يلي هن الويل would can could may might shall should must اكيد لازم يستخدم الفيرب زيرو. فانا مجرد ما عرفت الرول ام عامر سهلت على حالي كثير. اوكي let me write another example about rule 2. Rule 2 is saying if you study okay, now you will pass the exam. You will pass the exam. So this is rule number 2 about conditionals. This is if, this is if, this is simple present. Absolutely, study is simple present. I wrote a comma just to separate the if clause out of the main clause. This is will, this is will. After will, verb zero, this is verb zero. Amr, are you okay? عامر. Amr, if you can hear me, can you say something? عامر.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, so this is rule number 2 about conditionals. If
بس كنا عم نحكي الكان والوضع هدول ما سمعتهم مزبوط.
طبعا عامر بدك تحفظ الموديل فيربس اوعى. اوكي هلا كل الموديل فيربس بالانجلش حاكتب لك اياهم، ودائما تذكر عامر بعد اي موديل فيرب اجباري بدي استخدم الفيرب زيرو، ممنوع اي اضافات لبعد الفيرب. The modal verbs are will, would, can, could, may, might, shall, should. We don't have to forget must. وبرجع بأكد عامر كل المودال فيربس after them you have to use verb zero. والverb zero هو فعل المصدر ولا يمكن استخدام أي إضافات. يعني عامر بقصد لازم أقول I will go now. أكيد ما بقدر أقول I will goes، ما بقدر أقول I will went، ولا حتى بقدر أقول I will going، ولا بتزبط أصلا حتى أضيف ال ing. So all the time you have to use verb zero after modal verbs. اوكي طيب هلا كمان عامر مش بس الموديل فيربس، هلا هن هدول بيسمون موديل فيربس، بس في افعال مثل have to و going to و need to و able to. شوف هلا استخدمها السبيكر able to، شوف قديش مهمة. أكيد حتى هالأفعال، هلا هالأفعال عامر ما بيسمون موديل فيربس، بيسمون سيمي موديل فيربس، يعني أشباه موديل. حتى لو كان السبيكر عم بيستخدم أشباه الموديل كمان بدك تستخدم الفيرب زيرو. اوعى. اوكي فور اكزامبل I need to go.
اوكي
مو اكيد ما بقدر اقول لا I need to went ولا I need to going ولا حتى I need to goes. You have to use verb zero حتى لو كان semi model. يعني باختصار عامر سهل لك الرول، بعد التو بدي استخدم verb zero.
اوكي
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 okay, so this is about modal verbs. Now let's go back to rule 3 about conditionals. So this is rule 2. Now I want to match the example and notice that I have if, this is if, this is simple present, this is simple present, study, this is will, this is will, وأكيد this is will، وأكيد الانفينيتيف تعني الفيرب zero pass من دون أي إضافات and I have to complete the sentence. Now rule 3. Okay, rule 3 is saying if you want to use if or maybe when, okay, if you want to use simple past in the if clause, in the main clause you have to use would verb zero. فأنت فورا عامر بس تسمع السبيكر قال السمبل باست بأول بالإف كلاوز لازم تتوقع يستخدم الفيرب الود فيرب زيرو، مستحيل. فأنت تلقائيا يعني وحدة من السكيلز عامر هي guessing the meaning أو بسموه البريدكشن. prediction هو توقع الوورد اللي حيقوله السبيكر. عامر يمكن تفكرني عم بالغ، بس البريدكشن سكيل، مهارة البريدكشن نحن درسناها 6 شهور بالجامعة. 6 شهور تخيل عم بيعلمونا كيف انه نتوقع الانسر. فالبريدكشن كتير سكيل مهمة جدا، بتساعدني بالايلتس اكزام، بتساعدني بالتوفل، بتساعدني بالبي تي اي، بالدولونجو اكزام، اس اي تي، every international exam. Absolutely, prediction is really important. First of all, just to save your time, this is number 1. Number 2, just to guess the meaning. Okay, let me write the example about rule number 3 and let me match it with the rule. Now the same example because I don't want to confuse you. Now if you studied وأكيد studied بالsimple past، ولأنه بالsimple past لازم أتوقع السبيكر يقول rule 3. If you studied you would pass the exam. You would pass the exam. So this is rule 3 and let me match it now to the rule. Notice that this is if or when. Okay, this is simple past. Studied is the past of study. This is the comma just to separate this, the next clause. This is would, this is would. This is infinitive, verb zero. Again, past is in verb zero. So absolutely the speaker is going to use this rule. من المستحيل عامر انه السبيكر يستخدم السمبل past studied ويرجع يستخدم الفيرب الرول 2 يعني يستخدم will. مستحيل، ما بتزبط اصلا studied مع will. اوعى يعني العامر هيدا الرول مشان انت ما تستخدمه، مشان اول شيء انت ما تستخدمه غلط لا بالسبيكينج ولا بالرايتنج، هي واحد، ومشان تفهم السبيكر شو عم بيقول، لانه بعد الريبيتنج ا سنتنس ام عامر we have to summarize a lecture. اكيد كمان بسمرايزنج a lecture you have to speak. Maybe you want to use conditionals and absolutely if you want to use conditionals لازم تستخدمه بالشكل الصح. ما لانه عامر بالليكتشر اذا كان السبيكر عم بيستخدم السمبل بريزنت، انت الاف بدك تستخدمه بالسمبل بريزنت، ما بتزبط تستخدم السمبل باست. واذا كان سبيكر عم بيستخدم السمبل باست بدك تستخدم الرول 3 اكيد، ممنوع استخدام الرول 2. ليش؟ ما لانه السبيكر اي زمن عم بيستخدمه السمبل باست، فاكيد مش منطقيا اصلا تستخدم انت السمبل بريزنت والسبيكر استخدم السمبل باست تنس، وبالعكس. فاكيد الرولز مهمين، وبرجع بقول مش بس بسبيكينج وحتى بالرايتنج. اوكي. Now let me show you the last rule. واصلا ال last rule هي اللي بخربطوا فيها 90% من الطلاب. اهم رول واكثر رول استخداما، واصلا بيستخدموها كثير بالانترناشونال اكزامز لحتى يعرفوا اذا انت عن جد واعي للرول او مش سامع بالرول ولا حتى درست الرول. اوكي. The last rule عامر of conditionals is saying if you want to use if, okay, now past perfect, okay, in the if clause, comma, okay, you have to use would have verb 3. فأنت مجرد ما تسمع السبيكر استخدم الباست بيرفكت أكيد حيستخدم الwould have verb 3، مش حيستخدم لا الwould verb 0 ولا الwill verb 0 ولا حتى أصلا حيستخدم السمبل present. لازم أكتب نفس